What's up, internet? By myself today.
Welcome, curious viewers.
This past weekend, I was lucky enough to go to the first ever Brooklyn Horror Film Festival. It was very cool. I saw some really cool films there. The first of which actually ended up being a festival winner, called Beyond the Gates, directed by Jackson Stewart, and starring Graham Skipper of The Mind's Eye, and Chase Williamson, Brea Grant, Barbara Crampton. It was fucking awesome. It was so cool, dudes. Beyond the Gates tells a story of two estranged brothers who go to clean up their missing father's video rental store, and they find an old VHS board game and they decide to play it, and shit gets crazy. Kind of like Jumanji, but for horror. This movie I really like. This was a festival, so there were some movies that I'd heard about and I wanted to check out. This was one of them. Past that though, I really didn't know anything about it, aside from the fact that, you know, just basic elements of the plot. And I really was impressed by this one. This was like an awesome way to start off the festival for me. It was just so much fun and just funny and creepy and fucking gory as shit. Oh, it was such a good time. You guys know I'm a sucker for retro horror, and this is, oh my god, this is such a throwback. It captures the 80s in such a cool way, and I loved that. Because this felt like it could have been made in the 80s, and that was awesome, because there's not many movies that feel that way anymore. This one's got like elements of Fulci and elements of like a bit of Carpenter in there. It's really coll. Oh my god, it's just like you can see where the inspirations for this film came from, and it feels like really good. Right off the bat, like, the acting is fucking awesome. Like, you got Graham Skipper from The Mind's Eye, who's really good already. You have the man who plays his brother, Chase Williamson, gives a really cool, like, you know, I don't give a shit attitude to counters Graham Skipper's like straight-laced straight man attitude. It's just really, like, they work really well. Brea Grant is great. I've loved her since Heroes. Barbara Crampton gives like a wonderfully over-the-top performance as the creepy lady on the VHS, and the whole movie is tied together by the greatest sassy, weird, creepy store clerk in history, played by Jesse Merlin, who is amazing. It's so, every time he's on screen, I think the whole screening I was, like, everybody in the screening I was with wants a spin-off of his, so I fingers crossed, guys. Like I said, this movie is just really, it captures the 80s in an awesome way. Practical effects. Oh good lord, practical effects. They're so good in this. You got like crazy, like, fucking, like, intestines flying everywhere and heads exploding. It's so fucking cool. It's awesome. It made me feel like, it's so nice to see like a movie like this in 2016 that is totally just a love letter to the 80s and full of practical effects that look really well done. Another thing really worth noting about this movie is just the cinematography and the color schemes. Everything about it, like I said, just feels like it's pulled right out of the 80s, and it's so fucking cool. The colors are just really vibrant, and there's like a lot of really like nice like purples and blues once the game starts like taking hold. And then, oh my god, just even the fucking town they're in, it just lifts, like it's lifted right out of something like Halloween. It's so nice, guys. It's so cool. I love the way this movie's shot and the way it's edited and the way it's presented, and just everything about it is so fucking cool. Also, the score is really fun. It's just, you know, you got that droney, synthy fucking awesomeness that's with in a lot of horror movies now, but I love that that's making a comeback. This movie's also a lot funnier than I was expecting to be, and like intentionally so. Like, it's not like, oh, it's like, oh, it's so bad. No, it's like really funny. There's a lot of really good like little lines thrown in there that are just really hysterical, and this is just a really fun movie. That's the best way I can describe it. It's a ton of fun. In terms of like actual dislikes, I don't really have many, if any. Like, I think that if anything, the closest thing I can think of that, like, to a dislike that I was thinking of after was just that the first act I felt took a little too long to get going. Not even that long, just like 5 minutes or so. Like it's really, I didn't have really many problems with this one, guys. I just had a lot of fun with it. It's a ton of fun. It's a great time. And I think if you're a fan of, like, you know, that era of film, if you're a fan of just horror, really, it's because this is just a blast. I think this is definitely like a must see, and I think everybody should check it out at least once. This is the kind of movie that I'm gonna watch like every time around this year, around the holidays, because it's just such a fucking fun movie. This is the kind of thing you just have your friends over and, you know, you just have a couple beers and watch this and just have a great time. It's really, really good, guys. Check it out if it's playing in any festivals near you, or when it comes to whatever home release it comes to. It's really, really fun, dudes. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. And, you know, if you like me or Tom or Mike, they're not here, but like, they're here in spirit. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much, guys.
That lady was fucking smoking hot. I think I want it.
Sure is now.